My mother looked me straight in the eyes, standing under the twinkling lights of our Cleveland living room, and said the words that would change everything. You ruin Christmas just by being here. The scent of cinnamon rolls from the kitchen mixed with pine from the tree Dad had picked up at Home Depot 3 days earlier. Bing Crosby crooned White Christmas from the Bluetooth speaker on the mantel. My sister Ashley sat on the sectional couch, arms crossed, nodding like Mom had just stated a scientific fact. Dad stood by the fireplace, silent, his Cavs mug steaming in his hand. He wouldn't even look at me. I was still holding the Target bags full of gifts I'd driven 6 hours from Austin to deliver. My coat was halfway off. Snow from the driveway still melting on my boots, forming a small puddle on the hardwood floor Mom had just refinished, with money I'd sent her in September. I want to hear what you think is going to happen next. Drop your biggest guess in the comments below. While you're down there, tap the subscribe button to officially join the discussion. We're building a community of amazing story lovers, and I don't want you to miss out. Okay, let's find out if your prediction was right. Excuse me? I whispered, the words barely escaping my throat. Ashley uncrossed her arms and leaned forward. Honestly, Erin, we've been talking about it as a family. Christmas just flows better when you're not here. Flows better. Like I was a clogged drain. Like I was the reason the gravy burned or the relatives left early. My Aunt Kathy, Mom's sister, appeared from the kitchen doorway holding a glass of Chardonnay, her book club necklace glinting under the chandelier. She didn't defend me. She just gave me that tight Midwestern smile. The one that says bless your heart without the kindness. We think it's best, Mom continued, her voice soft, almost apologetic, like she was a manager letting someone go right before the holidays. If you just go. We already told everyone you couldn't make it this year. It's easier this way. I stood frozen. The bag slipped from my hands, landing with a soft thud against the floor. One of the gift boxes, a cashmere scarf I'd bought for Mom at Nordstrom Rack, rolled slightly toward her feet. She didn't pick it up. You're serious, I said. Not a question. A realization. Dad finally spoke. His voice was low, gruff, the same tone he used when he talked about the Browns losing another game. Don't make this harder than it needs to be, Erin. Ashley pulled out her phone, already scrolling, already checked out. I mean, it's not personal. You're just different. And the kids ask questions we don't want to deal with at Christmas, you know? Different. That word hung in the air like smoke. Different because I left Ohio. Different because I didn't marry my high school boyfriend. Different because I chose a life they couldn't brag about at church potlucks. I looked around the room. The room I'd helped paint 2 summers ago when they couldn't afford contractors. The furniture I'd co-signed for when Dad's credit tanked. The flat screen mounted above the fireplace that I'd bought them last Christmas because theirs had shorted out during the Super Bowl. So that's it. I asked quietly. My voice didn't shake. I didn't cry. I just needed to hear them say it one more time. You want me gone? Mom's face softened into something almost kind, something practiced. We'll call you after New Year's. When things settle down. Maybe we can do lunch in the spring. Maybe. Spring. 6 months away. I bent down slowly, picked up the Target bags, and slung them over my shoulder. My hands were steady now. My breathing even. The numbness spreading through my chest wasn't panic. It was clarity, cold and sharp. I zipped my coat back up, pulled my keys from my pocket. The little Longhorn keychain I'd bought in Austin jingled softly. Okay, I said. Ashley looked up from her phone, surprised. Wait, really? You're just leaving. I turned toward the door, my boots squeaking slightly on the floor. You told me to. I'm respecting your wishes. I opened the door. Cold December air rushed in, carrying the smell of snow and gasoline from someone's idling truck down the street. The neighborhood looked like a Hallmark movie. Lights strung on every house, inflatable Santas glowing on front lawns, wreaths on every door. Behind me, I heard Mom exhale. Relieved. I stepped out onto the porch and pulled the door shut behind me. It clicked softly, a sound so small it could have been nothing. But it wasn't nothing. It was the last time I'd ever closed that door as someone who needed their approval. What they didn't know, what none of them could have possibly understood in that moment, was that I'd just made a decision. Not out of anger. Not out of spite. Out of something much quieter. And much, much more permanent. My name is Erin Mitchell, I'm 31 years old. And until that Christmas Eve in Cleveland, I genuinely believed that love was something you earned through effort. I'm a software project manager in Austin, Texas. The kind of job my family never quite understood but always seemed to need when their Wi-Fi stopped working or their laptops froze. I live in a modest apartment in South Congress, the kind with exposed brick and a view of food trucks instead of Lake Travis mansions. I drive a 7-year-old Honda Civic with a Bernie sticker I forgot to peel off, and a crack in the windshield I keep meaning to fix. From the outside, my life probably looks small to them. But it's mine. I built it from scratch after leaving Ohio at 23 with $1,200 in my checking account, and a duffel bag full of clothes that still smelled like my mother's lavender detergent. Back home, I'm the forgettable middle child. Ashley, my older sister by 4 years, is the golden daughter, married to Todd, a dentist, living in Shaker Heights with 2 kids who play travel soccer. She teaches Pilates part-time and posts Instagram stories about her blessed life, with hashtags like #momboss and #livingmybestlife. My parents talk about her the way some people talk about winning the lottery. Then there's me, the one who left, the one who abandoned them for Texas, the one who didn't marry Kyle Richardson, my high school boyfriend who now manages his dad's car dealership and has a boat named Real Blessed. What my family has never understood, or never cared to acknowledge, is that I didn't abandon them. I saved them. It started small. When I was 19, working part-time at Target while commuting to community college, my dad's truck broke down. The repair was $1,400. I had $1,600 in savings, money I'd been stashing for a semester at Ohio State. I gave him $1,400. He thanked me once, quickly, the way you thank someone for holding a door. I never made it to Ohio State. When I was 22, Ashley's wedding needed just a little help with the catering costs. Mom called me crying, saying they'd already put deposits down, and the final bill was bigger than expected. I sent $3,000. I didn't go to Cancun with my friends that spring. I picked up extra shifts at Starbucks instead. At the wedding, I sat at table 9 near the bathroom. Ashley thanked everyone in her speech, her bridesmaids, her in-laws, her hairdresser, but not me. When I finally landed my job in Austin and moved, I thought distance would help. I thought maybe they'd miss me. Instead, I became their ATM with a 512 area code. The pattern calcified into routine. A text every few months, always starting with "Hey sweetie," or "Hope you're doing well," always ending with a dollar amount. The furnace. The roof. Ashley's medical bills after her second kid. Dad's dental work. Mom's car insurance when she let it lapse. I sent the money every time. Not because I was rich. I wasn't. I lived on ramen and freelance side gigs to make it work. I sent it because I believed that's what family did. I believed that eventually, all this generosity would add up to something. That one day they'd see me not as the backup plan, but as someone who mattered. I tracked it once, late one night after too much wine. Over 8 years, I'd sent them $47,000. $47,000. The down payment on a house. A year of living without financial stress. A future I kept postponing because their emergencies always came first. And in return? I got holiday cards addressed to the Mitchell family. My name accidentally left off. I got last-minute invitations to Thanksgiving, sent 3 days before, like an afterthought. I got seated at the kids' table at Ashley's baby shower even though I was 29. I got used to being invisible. But I told myself it was fine. That I was the strong one. That this was temporary. That someday somehow, they'd understand what I'd sacrificed. I was wrong. What I didn't realize. What I couldn't see until I was standing in that living room. Snow melting off my boots, holding Target bags full of gifts no one wanted. Was that I wasn't supporting my family. I was funding my own erasure. Every dollar I sent gave them permission to need me less as a person, and more as a resource. Every crisis I solved made it easier for them to forget I had a life, feelings, dreams that didn't revolve around their emergencies. They didn't need a daughter. They needed a paycheck with a heartbeat. And on Christmas Eve 2024, when my mother told me I ruined everything just by existing, I finally understood the trade I'd been making all these years. I'd given them everything, and they'd given me nothing but the chance to give more. That night, driving away from their house in my rented Kia, because my Civic couldn't handle the snow, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't call my best friend in Austin to vent. I pulled into a Speedway gas station off I-71, bought a burnt coffee, and sat in the parking lot with the heater blasting. Then I opened my banking app, and I started canceling everything. I wasn't always invisible. When I was 7, living in our old house in Lakewood, I was the kid who organized backyard carnivals and charged the neighbors a quarter for lemonade that was mostly water. I was loud. I asked questions. I wanted to be seen. That changed the year Ashley turned 13 and decided she wanted to be a cheerleader. Suddenly, every conversation at dinner revolved around uniforms, tryouts, and fundraisers. Mom started driving her to practice 4 nights a week. Dad installed a floodlight in the driveway so she could rehearse routines after dark. I'd sit on the porch steps, doing homework on my lap, watching her cartwheel under that bright white light like she was the only person in Ohio who mattered. When I asked if I could try soccer, Mom said, "Maybe next year, honey. Ashley's schedule is just so packed right now." Next year never came. By high school, the roles were set. Ashley was the achiever. I was the helper. She got the new laptop for college applications. I got her old one with the broken spacebar. She got a car for her 16th birthday, a used Jetta, but still. I got a bus pass and a lecture about responsibility. I told myself it was temporary. That once I graduated, once I proved myself, things would even out. They didn't. The first time I bailed them out, I was 19. Dad's truck, a beat-up Ford F-150 he'd driven since before I was born, threw a rod on his way to work. The mechanic quoted $1,400. Dad sat at the kitchen table that night, head in his hands, talking about maybe selling it for scrap. I had $1,600 saved. Money from working the checkout lanes at Target, scanning diapers and dog food and birthday cakes for strangers while my friends were pledging sororities at Ohio State. "I can help," I said quietly. Dad looked up. For a second, I saw something in his face, relief, maybe gratitude. "You sure, Erin?" I nodded. He hugged me. Quick, stiff, the kind of hug men from Cleveland give when they don't know what else to do. "You're a lifesaver, kiddo." I never made it to Ohio State that year. Or the next. When Ashley got engaged at 24, the wedding became a second full-time job for everyone. Mom joined 3 Facebook groups about DIY centerpieces. Dad started picking up weekend shifts to cover the venue deposit. And Ashley sent me a text at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. "Hey, so catering is more than we thought. Can you help with like $3,000? I'll pay you back, I swear." Asterisk. I was 22, working 2 jobs, Starbucks mornings, freelance graphic design at night. My savings account had $4,100. I was supposed to go to Cancun with my college friends in March. I sent the $3,000. I didn't go to Cancun. Ashley went to Punta Cana for her honeymoon. At the wedding, she thanked everyone. Her bridesmaids. Her florist. The DJ. The woman who made her veil. She cried thanking Todd's parents for being so generous. She never said my name. I told myself she forgot. That she was overwhelmed. That it didn't mean anything. But it did. After I moved to Austin, the requests kept coming, always with the same soft preamble. "Hey sweetie, hate to ask, but..." The roof. The furnace. Ashley's hospital bills. Dad's root canal. Mom's car insurance. The credit card they maxed buying new furniture. Every time I said yes. Every time. I told myself this would be the last. Every time. I believed that eventually my sacrifice would add up to something. That one day they'd wake up and realize I'd been holding the whole family together with duct tape and direct deposits. But they never did. Because people don't appreciate what they never have to ask for twice. I should have known something was wrong the moment I walked through the door. Ashley's kids, Hunter and Braley, were upstairs, unusually quiet. Todd sat in the corner scrolling his phone, barely nodding when I came in. Aunt Kathy was already on her second glass of wine, and it wasn't even 5 o'clock. But it was Mom's face that stopped me cold. She wasn't smiling the way she did in the photos she posted on Facebook. She looked tight, nervous, like she'd been rehearsing something. "Erin," she said, setting down a gingerbread cookie she'd been decorating. "We need to talk." Dad muted the Browns game. That's when I knew. Dad never muted football. Not for birthdays. Not for phone calls. Not for anything. Ashley stood up from the couch, arms crossed. She was wearing a cream-colored sweater that probably cost more than my rent. "We've been talking," she said. "As a family." My stomach dropped. "About what?" I asked, still holding the Target bags. Mom folded her hands like she was about to deliver bad news at a PTA meeting. "Sweetheart, we love you. You know that. But we think it's best if you don't stay for Christmas this year." The words didn't register at first. They bounced off me like stones skipping across water. "I'm sorry, what?" Ashley sighed, like I was being difficult on purpose. "Erin, come on. You know how it is. The kids ask uncomfortable questions when you're around. Todd's parents are coming tomorrow, and they're traditional. It's just easier if I'm not here," I finished. No one corrected me. Aunt Kathy took a long sip of Chardonnay and looked at the ceiling. Todd didn't look up from his phone. Dad stared at the muted TV like the score might save him. "We already told everyone you couldn't make it this year," Mom added gently, like that made it better. "We said you had to work. No one will ask questions." I felt my hands go numb. The bag slipped from my fingers and hit the floor with a dull thud. A candle I bought for Mom, something lavender from Target, $12.99. Rolled toward her feet. She didn't pick it up. "You're kicking me out," I said slowly. "On Christmas Eve." "We're not kicking you out," Ashley said, her voice sharpening. "We're just being honest. You make things awkward, Erin. You always have." "Awkward?" "Yeah," she said, not even hesitating. "You don't fit in with how we do things. You live in Texas. You're not married. You don't go to church anymore. And honestly, it's exhausting explaining you to people." The room went silent except for the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen, and the faint sound of Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" playing from someone's Alexa upstairs. I looked at my mother, the woman who used to braid my hair before school, the woman who cried when I graduated high school because she said I made her so proud. "Mom," I said quietly, "say something." She looked at me with tired eyes. Not angry, not guilty, just tired. "You ruin Christmas just by being here, Erin." The air left the room. I heard Aunt Kathy's wine glass clink against the coffee table. I heard Todd shift in his chair. I heard Ashley exhale like she'd been holding her breath, waiting for someone else to say it first. Dad finally spoke. His voice was flat, detached. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be." I stood there, staring at all of them. These people I'd spent 31 years trying to please, trying to help, trying to prove I was worth keeping. And in that moment, standing in the house I'd helped pay for, wearing boots still wet from the driveway I'd helped repave, holding gifts no one wanted, I realized something. They didn't see me as family. They saw me as a problem they'd finally decided to solve. "Okay," I said. Ashley's head snapped up. "Okay." I bent down and picked up the Target bags. My hands didn't shake. My voice didn't crack. "You want me gone? I'm gone." Mom blinked, surprised. "Erin, don't be dramatic." "I'm not being dramatic," I said. "I'm listening." I zipped my coat, pulled my keys from my pocket. The little Longhorn keychain jingled. "We'll call you after New Year's," Mom said quickly. "When things settle. Maybe we can get lunch." "Maybe," I repeated. I turned and walked toward the door. Behind me, I heard Ashley whisper, "Is she seriously leaving?" I opened the door. Cold December air rushed in, sharp and clean. I stepped onto the porch, and I didn't look back. I didn't cry in the driveway. I didn't scream or slam the car door or peel out of their cul-de-sac like some movie character having a breakdown. I just sat in my rented Kia, engine running, heater blasting cold air that hadn't warmed up yet, staring at the house I'd just been erased from. The Christmas lights blinked along the roofline. White icicle lights Dad and I had hung together 3 years ago when he couldn't climb the ladder anymore because of his bad knee. The wreath on the front door had a red velvet bow I'd shipped from Amazon last week, because Mom mentioned she wanted something festive but classy. Everything I was looking at, I'd helped build, and they'd just locked me out of it. I pulled out of the driveway slowly, carefully, like a person who wasn't falling apart, past the Hendersons' inflatable snowman, past the Kowalskis' nativity scene, past the house on the corner that always went overboard with decorations. Blinking reindeer, a Santa on the roof, enough lights to be seen from space. It all lit it out okay. No one apologizing. Just silence. I scrolled up. Months of messages. Most of them from me. Hey, did the mortgage go through okay? Asterisk. Mom, I sent the Venmo for the furnace. Asterisk. Ashley, LMK if you need help with Braylee's dance recital fees. Asterisk. Dad, checked your email. Your car insurance renewed. You're good. Asterisk. I kept scrolling. A year back. 2 years. Happy Thanksgiving. Wish I could be there. Sent a little extra for groceries. Asterisk. Merry Christmas. Hope you love the gifts. Sorry I couldn't make it home this year. Asterisk. Congratulations on the new furniture. Let me know if you need help with a credit card payment. Asterisk. Every message from me was a transaction. Every response from them was a request. I switched apps. Opened my banking app. The one I usually avoided looking at too closely because seeing the numbers all at once made my chest hurt. But tonight I looked. I went to scheduled transfers first. 3 of them, all automatic, all set up years ago during emergencies that never quite ended. Recurring. $400 per month to Mom and Dad, mortgage help, asterisk asterisk. Recurring. $250 per month to Ashley, car payment, asterisk asterisk. Recurring. $150 per month to family emergency fund, savings account I'd set up and they had access to, asterisk asterisk. $800 a month. Every month. For 6 years. I did the math on my phone's calculator. $57,600. $57,600. That didn't include the one-time emergencies. The roof. The dental work. The wedding. The hospital bills. The furniture. The insurance lapses. I opened my notes app and started a new list, fingers flying. What I've paid for asterisk asterisk. Dad's truck repair. $1,400. Ashley's wedding catering. $3,000. Mom and Dad's roof. $6,500. Dad's root canal. $2,100. Ashley's medical bills. Braylee's birth $4,200. Furnace replacement. $5,800. New living room furniture. $2,400. Car insurance lapses multiple. $1,800. Miscellaneous. Emergencies. $8,000 plus. Total estimated. $92,800. $92,000. I stared at the number until it stopped looking like money and started looking like years of my life. Vacations I didn't take. Promotions I turned down because I couldn't relocate. An engagement ring I never got because I prioritized their crises over my own relationship. My ex-boyfriend Mark had asked me once 2 years ago why I kept sending them money. They're family, I'd said. But what are they to you? He'd asked. I didn't have an answer then. I did now. I went back to my banking app, pulled up the scheduled transfers, hovered my thumb over the first one. Cancel recurring payment. Asterisk asterisk. I pressed yes. Then the second one. Cancel recurring payment. Asterisk asterisk. Yes. Then the third. Yes. Asterisk asterisk. I removed myself as a co-signer on Ashley's car loan with a quick call to the lender's automated system, something I'd been allowed to do for months, but never thought I'd actually use. I logged into the family emergency fund and transferred every dollar back into my personal savings. $4,300. It had been more before they dipped into it last month without asking. Then I went to my email and found the contact for the family lawyer. The one who helped my parents refinance their house 4 years ago. I drafted a message requesting that I be removed from any documents listing me as a financial cosigner or backup. I didn't send it yet, but I saved it to drafts. By the time I finished, my hands had stopped shaking. The guy in the Carhartt was gone. The gas station lights buzzed softly. Snow had started falling again, light and slow. I looked at my phone one more time. At the family group chat. At my mother's contact photo. Her smiling at Ashley's baby shower last spring. And I realized something I should have understood years ago. They didn't love me. They loved what I gave them. And the moment I stopped giving, I stopped existing. I started the car, pulled back onto the road, and drove toward the Holiday Inn Express near the highway. I didn't look back at the neighborhood. Not even once. The first text came at 9:47 a.m. on December 26th. I was still in bed at the Holiday Inn, staring at the popcorn ceiling, listening to someone's kid run up and down the hallway outside. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. Ashley. Hey, can you call me asterisk asterisk? I turned the phone face down and closed my eyes. It buzzed again. And again. Ashley. Erin, seriously, call me asterisk asterisk. Ashley. There's a problem with my car payment asterisk asterisk. Ashley. It got rejected and now they're saying I'm late asterisk asterisk. I picked up the phone, opened the message thread, and did something I'd never done before. I left her on read. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Ashley's name lit up the screen, her contact photo smiling back at me. The one from her wedding, all teeth and white lace. I let it ring. She called again. Then again. On the fourth call, I answered. What, Ashley? Her voice came through sharp, panicked. Why didn't you answer? I've been freaking out. My car payment didn't go through, and now they're charging me a late fee. Did you forget to send? I didn't forget. Silence. What? I canceled it, I said. Calmly. Flatly. Like I was reading a grocery list. You canceled it? Erin, what the hell? I can't afford. Then you'll figure it out, I said. The way I've been figuring things out my whole life without any of you. This isn't funny. My credit is going to. Ashley, I interrupted, my voice still even. You told me I ruined Christmas just by existing. You agreed with Mom when she kicked me out. You laughed. That wasn't, she stopped. Recalibrating. Erin, come on. We were just being honest. You took it the wrong way. I almost laughed. I took it exactly the way you meant it. So what, you're punishing me? Over a misunderstanding? No, I said. I'm just stopping. Stopping what? Everything. I hung up. She called back immediately. I declined it. She called again. I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and went to take a shower. By noon, my dad called. I was sitting in the hotel lobby with bad coffee and a Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich from the vending machine. His name appeared on my screen. I let it go to voicemail. He called again. I answered on the third ring. Erin. His voice was tight, controlled. The way it got when he was trying not to lose his temper. There's an issue with the mortgage payment. I know. What do you mean you know? I canceled the transfer, Dad. A pause. I could hear him breathing, could picture him standing in the kitchen, staring at the wall the way he did when something didn't go according to plan. You can't just cancel it without telling us. Why not? I asked. You kicked me out without telling me. Seems fair. That was different. How? Another pause. Longer this time. We rely on that money, Erin. I know, I said. That's the problem. Don't do this. You're being childish. I took a sip of coffee. It tasted like burnt rubber, but I didn't care. I'm being honest. Just like you were. Your mother is worried sick. Is she? Not a question. A statement. She wants to talk to you. Then she can call me herself. She's upset. So am I, Dad. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. We'll figure this out after the holidays, he said finally, his voice softer now. Let's not blow this out of proportion. It's already out of proportion, I said. You just didn't notice until it affected you. I hung up. By 4 p.m., the group chat exploded. Mom, Erin, please call me. We need to talk about this situation. Asterisk asterisk. Aunt Kathy, I heard what happened. This is not how family handles disagreements. Asterisk asterisk. Ashley. Seriously, Erin, you're going to ruin everyone's holiday over this? Todd. Hey Erin, maybe we can all sit down after New Year's and work this out like adults. Asterisk asterisk. I read every message. Didn't reply to a single one. Instead, I went back to my banking app and checked the emergency fund I'd transferred back into my account. Still there. Untouched. I opened my email and pulled up the draft to the family lawyer. Read it one more time. Then I hit send. At 6 p.m., my mom finally called. I answered. Erin, sweetheart. Her voice cracked, the way it always did when she wanted sympathy. Please. We need to talk about the bills. Things are piling up faster than we thought. Your father and I, we're in a really difficult position. Are you? I said. Don't be like this. We made a mistake. We were just trying to be honest with you. You told me I ruined Christmas by existing, Mom. Silence. That wasn't what I meant. Yes, it was. Her voice shifted. Harder now. Fine. You want an apology? I'm sorry. There. Now can we move past this? No. Erin. You don't get to apologize because you need money. That's not how this works. So what? You're just going to abandon us? Your own family? I laughed. Actually laughed. You abandoned me first, Mom. I'm just finally listening. I hung up. And for the first time in my entire life, I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. The call came at 2:13 a.m. on December 29th. Not from my parents. From my cousin Jamie, who still lived 2 streets over from them in Lakewood. I was half asleep when my phone buzzed, the screen lighting up the dark hotel room. I almost didn't answer. But something about the time, the middle of the night, the desperation of it, made me pick up. Erin. Jamie's voice was breathless, urgent. I'm sorry to call so late, but it's your parents. My heart dropped. What happened? Their furnace died. Like, completely. It's 12 degrees outside, and the house is already freezing. Your mom called me crying, saying they can't afford the emergency repair. It's going to be at least $4,000, maybe 5. I sat up in bed, fully awake now. They tried calling you, Jamie continued. Like, a lot. But you're not answering, and your mom is freaking out. She said something about you two fighting, but Erin, they're going to freeze if. Let me call you back, I said. I hung up and stared at my phone. 17 missed calls. From my mom, my dad, Ashley, even Aunt Kathy. All in the last 3 hours, while I'd been asleep with my phone on silent. I opened the voicemails. Mom, 11:42 p.m. ***. Erin, please pick up. The furnace stopped working and it's so cold and we don't know what to do. Please, sweetheart. I know we hurt you, but this is serious. Dad, 12:18 a.m. ***. Erin, it's Dad. We need help. The house is freezing. Your mother's hands are shaking. Call us back. Ashley, 1:03 a.m. Erin, I know you're mad, but Mom and Dad could literally get sick. You're not going to just let them freeze, are you? Call me. Mom, 1:47 a.m. ***. Her voice cracked, desperate. Please, Erin. We're sorry. We'll do anything. Just please help us. We can't afford this right now. We need you. We need you. Not we love you. Not we were wrong. We need you. I sat there in the dark, listening to my mother's voice break over and over, and felt absolutely nothing. No panic. No guilt. No rush of adrenaline to fix it. Just a cold, clear understanding. They didn't need me. They needed my money. And the moment I stopped being useful, I stopped mattering. I thought about my dad, the man who muted a football game to tell me I was making things harder than they needed to be. I thought about my mom, who said I ruined Christmas just by existing. I thought about Ashley, who laughed. I thought about the $92,800 I'd given them over the years. The vacations I didn't take. The life I didn't build. The love I kept pouring into people who only saw me as a checkbook with a pulse. My phone buzzed again. Ashley. Are you seriously going to ignore us right now? This is insane. They could get hypothermia. Do you even care? I typed back. Slowly. Carefully. Me. Call a 24-hour HVAC service. They exist. You'll figure it out. Asterisk asterisk. Her response came immediately. Ashley, we can't afford it asterisk asterisk. Me then call Todd's parents. Call Aunt Kathy. Call someone who thinks I belong at Christmas. Asterisk asterisk. Ashley, you are unbelievable asterisk asterisk. Me no. I'm unavailable. Asterisk asterisk I blocked her number. Then I blocked my mom's. Then my dad's. I didn't block Jamie. She was just the messenger. I lay back down, pulled the scratchy hotel comforter over my shoulders, and closed my eyes. Outside, snow fell silently against the window. And for the first time in years, I slept through the night without waking up to check my phone. The next morning I checked Facebook. Ashley had posted at 4:37 a.m. Some people will abandon their own family over a disagreement. Praying for those who value pride over love. Asterisk. 43 likes. 12 comments. All from people who had no idea what actually happened. I didn't respond. I didn't defend myself. I just closed the app. Because the people who mattered already knew the truth. And the people who didn't weren't worth explaining it to. By December 30th, the entire family had turned on me. The group chat I'd muted was blowing up. Screenshots Jamie sent me later showed over 100 messages. Aunt Kathy calling me selfish. Todd's mom, who I'd met exactly twice, saying I clearly didn't understand what family meant. Distant cousins I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly had opinions about my character. Ashley changed her Facebook profile picture to one of her hugging our parents, captioned, asterisk family is everything. Even when it's hard. Asterisk the subtext was clear. I was the villain. But I wasn't the one freezing. According to Jamie, who'd driven over to check on them, my parents had eventually called a 24-hour HVAC company. The furnace was fixed by 6 a.m. on the 29th. It cost $4,700. They'd put it on a credit card. They survived. And they were furious that I'd let them suffer. On the morning of the 30th, my mom tried one more time. Not a call. An email. Subject line. Please read this. I opened it. Erin asterisk. I don't know what we did to deserve this kind of treatment from you. Your father and I have spent the last 2 days in a freezing house, terrified, because you decided to punish us. Ashley is beside herself. The whole family is worried about you. Asterisk. We know we hurt your feelings on Christmas Eve. That wasn't our intention. We were trying to be honest with you because we thought you'd understand. But clearly you took it the wrong way. Asterisk. You've always been sensitive, Erin. We've tried to be patient with that, but this is too much. Cutting us off financially? Ignoring us during an emergency? This isn't the daughter we raised. Asterisk. If you want to be angry, fine. Be angry. But don't punish us for trying to protect this family's peace. We've always done our best for you. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was something. Asterisk. We need you to help us with the furnace bill. We can't carry this debt, and you know that. Please do the right thing. We'll talk after the new year and work this out. Asterisk. Love. Mom asterisk. I read it 3 times. Then I started typing. Mom asterisk. You told me I ruined Christmas just by existing. Asterisk. You kicked me out of your house on Christmas Eve because I make people uncomfortable. Asterisk. Ashley laughed. Dad didn't defend me. Aunt Kathy watched it happen. Asterisk. For 8 years I've sent you money. $92,800 to be exact. I tracked it. Every furnace repair, every insurance payment, every emergency, that somehow always landed on my credit card. Asterisk. I didn't punish you by refusing to help with the furnace. I stopped enabling you. Asterisk. You're not cold because I abandoned you. You're cold because you spent years taking from someone you never valued. And now that person is gone. Asterisk. I'm not paying for the furnace. I'm not paying for anything ever again. Asterisk. You'll figure it out. You always do. Just this time, you'll do it without me. Asterisk. Erin asterisk. I hit send before I could second guess myself. Then I opened a new email. This one to Ashley. Ashley asterisk. You said I make things awkward. That I don't fit in. That explaining me to people is exhausting. Asterisk. You're right. I don't fit into a family that only wants me when I'm useful. Asterisk asterisk I canceled your car payment. I'm done co-signing your life. You're 35. Figure it out. Asterisk. Don't contact me again. Asterisk. Erin asterisk. Send. I closed my laptop, walked to the hotel window, and looked out at the parking lot. A family was loading suitcases into a minivan, kids bundled in puffy coats, a dad holding a to-go coffee, a mom laughing at something one of the kids said. They looked happy. Not perfect. Just present. My phone buzzed. Jamie. Holy shit, Erin. Your mom is losing it. She's calling everyone. She showed people your email. Asterisk asterisk. Jamie. Aunt Kathy is defending you now BTW. She said your mom went too far. Jamie. Do you want me to check on you? You okay? Asterisk asterisk. I typed back. Me, I'm okay. Really? For the first time in a long time. Asterisk asterisk. Jamie. Proud of you. Seriously. Asterisk asterisk. I sat down on the edge of the hotel bed and exhaled. They tried to erase me. Instead, I erased my obligation to them. And somewhere in Cleveland, in a house with a brand new furnace they couldn't afford, my family was finally learning the cost of taking someone for granted. Not in dollars. In loss. At 11:03 p.m., my dad sent one final text. Dad, you've made your point. We'll leave you alone. Asterisk asterisk. I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted his number. And I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. New Year's Eve arrived quiet and cold. I spent the day driving. Not back to Cleveland. I couldn't stomach that. Not back to Austin yet either. I just drove south on I-71. Windows cracked, heat blasting, music off, letting the hum of the highway fill the silence. I passed exits for Columbus, Cincinnati, Louisville. Small towns with names I'd never remember. Gas stations lit up like beacons. Billboards advertising injury lawyers and fireworks stores. Somewhere near the Kentucky border, I pulled off at a rest stop and sat in the parking lot, watching semis idle and families pile out of minivans to stretch their legs. My phone had been quiet all day. No calls. No texts. Just a single notification from my banking app. Your scheduled transfer has been canceled. I'd almost forgotten I'd set that one up years ago. A $200 automatic payment to my parents every New Year's Day. A fresh start gift, I'd called it. Not anymore. I deleted the notification and kept driving. By 9 p.m., I was in Louisville, parked outside a diner called the Silver Skillet. The kind of place with vinyl booths and a jukebox that probably didn't work. A neon sign in the window blinked. Open New Year's Eve. Inside, it was warm and smelled like coffee and bacon grease. I slid into a booth near the back and ordered a burger and fries I didn't really want. The waitress, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and a name tag that said Denise, set down a glass of water and smiled. You here alone, hon? I nodded. Well, she said, you've got us. We're good company. She wasn't lying. A couple sat at the counter holding hands. A family with 2 little kids colored on placemats. An older man in a UK Wildcats hat sipped coffee and read a newspaper. None of them knew me. None of them expected anything from me. And somehow, that felt like the safest I'd been in years. At 11:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. I almost didn't look. But curiosity got the better of me. Mom. Happy New Year, Erin. I hope you're safe. We love you. Asterisk asterisk. 3 sentences. Clean. Controlled. Like nothing had happened. Like I hadn't been erased on Christmas Eve. Like the last 6 days hadn't rewritten everything. I stared at the message, waiting for the guilt to come, the instinct to reply. The old version of me that would have typed back love you too just to keep the peace. But it didn't come. Instead, I felt nothing. Not anger. Not sadness. Just a quiet, clear understanding that love wasn't supposed to feel like this. I typed one sentence. Me, I hope you're safe too. Then I deleted her number. Not blocked. Deleted. Because I didn't need a reminder of who she was anymore. At 11:58 p.m., Denise came over with a slice of pie. On the house, she said. No one should be alone at midnight. I'm not alone, I said, looking around at the diner. She smiled. Damn right you're not. The TV above the counter switched to Times Square. The ball descended. The countdown started. 10, 9, 8 asterisk. I thought about my parents sitting in their living room in Cleveland, probably pretending everything was fine. 7, 6, 5 asterisk. I thought about Ashley, posting some filtered photo with Todd and the kids, smiling for strangers online. For 3, 2 asterisk. I thought about the woman I used to be, the one who believed sacrifice was love. 1 asterisk. The diner erupted. People cheered. Someone popped a bottle of cheap champagne. Denise clinked her coffee mug against my water glass. Happy New Year, hon. Happy New Year, I said. And I meant it. I walked out of the diner just after midnight. The parking lot was quiet, the sky clear and full of stars. Fireworks popped in the distance, tiny bursts of color over the city. I leaned against my car and pulled out my phone one last time. Opened my photos. Scrolled back to last Christmas. A picture of me and my parents in front of their tree. I was smiling. They weren't really looking at me. I stared at it for a long moment. Then I deleted it. Not out of anger. Out of release. I got in the car, started the engine, and pulled onto the highway heading south. Back to Austin. Back to my apartment. Back to a life that wasn't built around people who only needed me when it was convenient. The radio crackled to life, some top 40 station playing Miley Cyrus. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, asterisk. I turned it up. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was running away. I felt like I was finally running toward something. Myself. It's been 8 months since that Christmas Eve in Cleveland. I'm sitting on my balcony in Austin right now, watching the sunset turn the sky into shades of pink and orange that don't exist anywhere else. My neighbor's dog is barking. Someone down the street is grilling. The cicadas are starting their nightly symphony. This city feels like home in a way Cleveland never did. I got a promotion in March. Senior Project Manager. The kind of title that comes with a salary I don't have to immediately divide among other people's emergencies. I bought new furniture. A couch I actually like, not a hand-me-down someone else didn't want. I joined a book club. Started running again. Adopted a cat named Biscuit who's currently asleep on my lap. Small things. Quiet things. But they're mine. My family stopped trying to contact me around February. The emails slowed. The guilt trip texts faded. Ashley unfriended me on Facebook. I didn't notice until someone told me. According to Jamie, who still checks in every few weeks, my parents downsized. They sold the house in Lakewood and moved into a smaller place in Parma. Something they could actually afford without my monthly deposits propping up the mortgage. Ashley picked up extra shifts at her Pilates studio. Todd's parents helped with some bills. They figured it out. Just like I said they would. Jamie told me my mom asked about me once. Said she missed me. But she never actually reached out. Never apologized. Never acknowledged what she'd said that night. I think she's waiting for me to come crawling back. I won't. In April I got a letter. Not an email. An actual letter. Handwritten. Postmarked from Cleveland. It was from my dad. I almost threw it away. But something stopped me. I opened it. Erin asterisk. I'm not good at this. You know that. But your mother said I should try. Asterisk. We made mistakes. I see that now. We leaned on you too much. Took you for granted. Said things we shouldn't have said. Asterisk. I don't expect you to forgive us. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Asterisk. If you ever want to talk, you know where to find me. Asterisk. Dad asterisk. I read it 3 times. It wasn't perfect. It didn't undo the years of being invisible. It didn't erase Christmas Eve. But it was something. I wrote back. 1 sentence. Thank you for saying that. I'm not ready yet. Maybe someday. Asterisk. I mailed it the next day. I haven't heard from him since. But that's okay. Healing doesn't have a timeline. And forgiveness doesn't mean going back. Last week, I celebrated my 32nd birthday. Not with my family. With people I've chosen. My coworkers threw me a surprise party at the office. Cheap cake from H-E-B and dollar store decorations, but it was perfect. My friend Morgan took me to dinner at this little taco place on East 6th. We stayed out until midnight, laughing about nothing. No one asked me for money. No one made me feel like I didn't belong. I blew out a candle on a cupcake Morgan bought, and for the first time in my life, I didn't wish for my family to see me. I wished for more nights like this. Sometimes late at night, I think about that Christmas Eve. I think about standing in that living room, holding Target bags, listening to my mother tell me I ruined everything just by existing. And I don't feel angry anymore. I feel grateful. Because that moment, as brutal and devastating as it was, set me free. It forced me to see what I'd been avoiding for years. That I was drowning trying to save people who never intended to pull me to shore. They didn't reject me that night. They revealed themselves. And I finally stopped pretending I didn't see it. I'm not going home for Christmas this year. I'm staying here. In Austin. In my apartment with the balcony and the sunset, and the neighbor's dog. Maybe I'll invite Morgan over. Maybe I'll volunteer somewhere. Maybe I'll just sit on this couch with Biscuit and watch bad holiday movies and eat pizza. Whatever I do, it'll be my choice. Comment Bilou? Subscribe. Share this. And remember, you can't steal from someone who knows their worth, not an obligation. Not a performance. Not a desperate attempt to earn love from people who only valued what I could give. Just me. Choosing myself. The way I should have years ago. If you've ever been the person everyone needed but no one valued, I want you to know something. You're not selfish for walking away. You're not cruel for setting boundaries. You're not a bad daughter, son, sister, brother, or friend for refusing to be drained. You're surviving. And sometimes, survival looks like saying no to the people who only love you when you're useful. I didn't ruin Christmas. I survived it. And on the other side of that survival, I found something I'd been searching for my whole life. Peace.